Hey guys, welcome back to 5 nothing 100 nothing.com. I am Fugget, the fittest underdog guru using intelligent tactics. And today, guys, is part 2 of dating app. Okay, so we're digging deep into dating apps and how to make the most success of your experience on them. Okay, so what I want to talk about today is that the next part of the progress when you actually match with women. Okay, so once you match with them, this is where I see from my experience a lot of people drop the ball right off the get-go, right from the get-go rather. Just say hi, use their name, spell it correctly. If you're in a big rush, it could autocorrect. Use the name they gave you. They might have just put something goofy and not wanting to use their real name. Whatever it is, address them by that until they give you their real name. Don't, is that your real name? Or don't get cute. That's the big thing, is don't get cute. And the other thing is don't try too hard. If you're trying to come up with a witty line or a joke, or you just come off like desperate and that you're trying too hard to impress. Okay, so keep it simple. Hello, Michelle, how are you? Don't, a lot of times I've heard this critique, or it's like a pet peeve whenever somebody says, how was your weekend? And it's like, well, I don't even really know you. So do you want me to get into the story about my aunt and how my cat ran away, and I finally got over the sinus infection or whatever? It's like stuff that nobody really gives a shit about. So stay away from that stuff. Just keep it simple, and start with just real small talk. Don't get into anything real deep. Okay. The other thing is, once you do that, remember, the reason you're doing that rather is that it's an interview. You're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you. So you're not trying to like jump out and change the world or do anything. You don't want to seem too eager, because you're going to come off like desperate. It's the first time you talk to a girl in 2-3 years. Women can smell desperation. Okay, so it's an interview for both of you to see if each of you qualifies to go further and eventually meet or talk on the phone, which is my next point. Don't spend too much time going back and forth on texting. Okay, keep it brief. Ask for their number or give them your number and say, hey, I'd love to talk to you on the phone. You sound really interesting. Is there a good time to call? Give them your number. Some women will give you their number, and that shows a high level of interest and attraction. Other times you're going to be the one that wants to give them your number. And I say be assertive, be a man and go after what you want. Say, hey, I'd love to talk to you. Is there a good time for me to call you? And you got to stick to it, guys, because this is going to set the tone for if you're dependable, if you're reliable. And if you screw up and don't call, or you're 40 minutes late calling them, whatever. I mean, stuff happens, but try to eliminate or minimize it as much as possible. Once you're on the phone with them, spend no more than 10, and if it's going really well, and I don't suggest you spend this much time, but up to 30 minutes on the phone with them. Okay, so just real small talk, keep it light. Don't talk about your exes. Don't talk about, anyone that you've been dating that's on the site. I've had women ask me, so you having a lot of luck on this site? And I'm like, I have my luck. Just leave a little bit of mystery. They don't have to know. No, I've talked to 50 women and all of them turned me down. Nobody wants to talk to me. Nobody wants to go out with me. Don't do that stuff, And don't also try to be Don Juan and, oh yeah, I banged everyone I talked to. Don't do things like that. Just keep it real simple, playful, and a little bit of mystery. Once you're getting off the phone with them, okay, what you want to do is ask them, hey, can we get together soon, for a coffee or a drink or something, and see if they're receptive. That's the thing you want to start with. You don't want to start with, hey, do you want to go to Cancun? Hey, do you want to go to this 5-star restaurant so I can blow $300 on you? You don't want to do that stuff. The main reason that you don't want to do that is because, let's say you guys finally meet in person, and before the appetizer is there, one of you or both of you are looking for the exit and thinking this was a mistake. So now you're going to blow $200-300, or even if it's $50, it doesn't matter. You're wasting your money, number one, with somebody who either you have a low level of attraction for or they of you. And two, there's no exit door. Like, it's really awkward to get out of a date like that. And then you got to go through the paces for nothing. So start with a coffee, start with a drink, whatever you prefer. And that way it's very cost effective for you. And the other thing is that you don't have to spend that much time with somebody that it's like you realize right from the get-go you're not going to hit it off. So it's easy to pay for a coffee or tea or something or drink and say, well, it was really nice meeting you, whatever, wrap it up and get out of there. Or they'll do that to you too. I've had them both done. So, one of the things that I also suggest you do is that wherever you plan to meet for a coffee or a drink, what have you, it's preferable if it's in a location that also has food. So if it's at a bar, hopefully it's like a pub that also has food, or a nice establishment is like within walking distance or really close to wherever you're having your drink of choice at. Okay, that way if that first drink or a second drink or whatever is going really well, you can easily say, hey, let's get some food now, or hey, let's get dinner now, depending on what time of day you meet. And then it'll be really convenient. So especially if you've had a couple and now you're just a little bit buzzed, you don't want to then get in the car and drive 30 minutes across town and get a DUI on your first date. Okay, that's a buzzkill right there. No pun intended, or intended. So think about that. If it's all going well, boom, escalate it to dinner, and then you're off to the races. Okay. The main things I think to remember, the key points of this, and you got to fill in the blanks based on your personality, set of experiences, how the date's going. Trust your intuition, trust your gut. But the main thing is to be yourself. Don't be somebody you're not, because it will be very transparent. And if you're trying to be somebody that's impressing them, and they really like that version of you or whatever you portrayed to be you, now for the length of that relationship, you're going to be playing that role. And living a lie sucks. You don't want to do that. You want to stay away from those types of situations, and you want to be yourself. And if they don't like you for you, that's fine. They deserve to be with somebody who's going to be themselves, just as you'd want them to be themselves, right? So be yourself. Don't be somebody you're not. Next thing is relax. Take a deep breath. Just relax, okay? Remember, you're interviewing and qualifying them to be in your life or to spend time with, just as much as they're doing to you as well. So, listen, let them do most of the speaking, and you listen, answer their questions, what have you. Again, don't get into a lot of details. Don't get into, again, like your exes and your baggage and all that stuff. I mean, you could touch on things, but leave a little bit of mystery, look them in the eye, be confident, sit up straight or lean back slightly in that chair, own the room. You're not cocky, you're confident, and you're convinced. You have value, and carry yourself like it. You haven't just found this precious gem, amazing woman who, number one, she's going to see through your shit if you're acting like Prince Charming, because then she's going to think he's just trying to hook up with me. He doesn't know me. How can he think I'm the most beautiful woman and I'm the most interesting thing in the world? They'll see through that stuff, all right? You're not fooling anybody. So keep it brief. The phone call, the texting beforehand, keep it brief. Don't get verbal diarrhea. Don't sit there and tell your life stories back and forth on text for 3 weeks and then ask for a phone number or what have you, because now you're not going to have anything to talk about on the phone. And likewise, on the phone, don't sit there and talk, because then when you get together, you know each other's life story, and it's just going to be awkward. You want to establish rapport in person. You want them to feel your presence. It's going to do a lot. It's going to do you justice to be on your A game and talking about things where there's a heartfelt connection, or you're really just jiving and finding those points where you have rapport and or not have rapport, and then moving on if that's not what each of you is feeling for that first date. Leave some mystery, leave things to talk about on the date, And remember, let them do more talking than you, okay? Because you can talk yourself right out of a relationship with this woman. So leave a little mystery, be confident, firm, calm in your demeanor. You can be playful and funny, but you got to be really good, quick-witted, and have a good sense of humor to be able to pull that off. And just don't be nervous. Don't say anything stupid. Don't have regrets, all right? So that's part 2, you guys. I will see you soon for part 3. Hope you enjoyed that. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will talk to you again soon. Good luck.